وعزمت وحطيت فتكمل ما بديت.
إيه هصير أحسن ولا يمنع.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is your host Rea Mohamed on Action right here at Radio Al Ansar. From exploring current trends to delving into pressing issues like social justice and mental health, this show fearlessly tackles the pivotal subjects that resonate deeply within our generation. My mission is to embody authenticity, relatability, and humor, ensuring that even the most challenging discussions become accessible and engaging, creating a space where listeners can feel understood and entertained simultaneously. Now, today we will be doing a continuation of last week's program, but first we will be chatting to Halima Small from the Al Ansar Outreach about our upcoming Women's Day event on the 9th of August. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Halima.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakallah so much for having me on your show. It's an absolute pleasure.
I'm so glad you could come on. How are you doing?
I'm considering the journey we had this morning.
Yeah.
I'm doing very good.
What did we do? We went to this farm where we went.
It was multiple places,
Yeah.
right? But it was regarding our Women's Day event. So we had the lovely Rea Mohamed doing her video today. So I think the listeners should stay tuned to our social media because we're going to be posting all our content. So you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are watching the live right now, you'd be able to see my ball gown.
Mhm.
That was really fun. I mean,
No, but you look absolutely stunning.
Jazakallah, I
So
appreciate that. I mean, I got to sit on the horse, ride the horse, and then go around to quite a few places. It was really fun.
It was a good experience, and I think it was our first trip outside of work, but like
Yes.
for work.
It really
but
was.
it was very
awesome. It was
exciting.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Now, okay, let's go into this. Okay, so Women's Day is around the corner, and your team is doing big things. So why should young people actually care about this event? What's in it for Gen Z?
So this isn't just going to be another event, right? It's a whole experience tailored to uplift the younger minds, especially for the Gen Z. It's a space where your voice matters. And I think we're living in a time where the youth kind of feel like they're silenced and no one's really listening to them. This event is tailored for your voice to be heard. What you're doing, the challenges you're facing. This event is tailored specifically towards that. You're going to get to meet people who look like you, sound like you, and have made waves in their spaces. It's going to be a real inspiration to everyone that attends.
I absolutely love that, and as we said, like, it's not even just for the older generation.
Absolutely not.
It's for the youth too. It's time to embrace our own beauty and our true identity. Show up because strength is sisterhood. Now, let's be real. Sometimes empowerment events can feel, a little distant. So, how are you making sure that this one actually connects with us and our real life goals like school, careers, and confidence?
Okay, absolute facts, right? We totally get that. Most of the Women's Day events that people attend, it's just like talks upon talks, inspiration, and it's never really targeted toward the youth. So, for this event, right, it's gonna be tailored in such a way where your dreams can finally turn into plans. This event, you're gonna be seen, you're gonna be heard. We're gonna have amazing speakers like Apa Ansar Mia. We have a fitness segment with Fahima Asmal, and there's so much more that's gonna be going on, especially for the youth. So that's why we've revamped our entire Women's Day event. And it's going to be such an experience. You don't want to miss this. And we're going to have the lovely sister Ria here. So you're going to get to meet her as well.
Super excited to meet every one of you wonderful ladies. Now, word is there that there'll be some powerful women in the room. Like, we are talking real inspiration. Like, I want to be her when I grow up vibes. Who should we be hyped up to see?
Okay, 100%. You're going to be in the same room as women, as some serious boss women, right?
Yeah.
Think women who've shared their own businesses, have taken over boardrooms, have basically dominated the spaces that they are in. You're gonna meet a powerhouse of women, and you're gonna get to meet your favorite presenter like Kelly Ramazani. I know she is an upcoming lawyer just like you. So you're gonna get to meet powerhouse of women. It's gonna be such an experience. For those who haven't booked their seats, please do not miss out on this event. And of course, we are going to give amazing food. That's what most people look forward to. So yeah, we want you to leave saying, this day has changed something in me. From this event, I've taken so much and completely changed your perspective and life around.
I feel like this is a day that women finally open their eyes to themselves and look in the mirror, look at their
Mhm.
reflection and say, this is me. Like, wow.
Exactly. And it's
amazing.
going to be
I'm
an amazing
beautiful.
opportunity for women to, network with each other,
Yeah.
because we're so busy doing our own things. We forget that we have a community and we have a sisterhood.
Yes.
And I think in this day and age where there's so many things, like I think like the youth now, they're seeing so much on social media with like war and hatred and violence.
Yeah.
This is going to be a space where women can just connect and feel a sisterhood within themselves.
I absolutely love that. Now, lastly, if a young person walks in feeling unsure about their future, what do you hope they walk out with? A mindset shift, a mission, maybe even a mentor?
All of the above, right?
Hmm.
Our biggest hope is that every young person leaves with something that clicks, something that empowers you to become a better version of yourself, because there's so much in this world that we haven't experienced
Yes,
yet,
indeed.
so we want you to take charge of your life. And by coming to this event, it's so important for our community, especially for women to know that, hey, we have a sisterhood out there. If we need support in different aspects of our life, we have that out there.
Mm.
So you're gonna get everything in one day. Just look forward to it.
Yeah, it's time to embrace it.
Mhm.
Embrace your sisterhood and love toward one another.
100%.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Jazakallah, for coming on. It was absolutely wonderful. And one more thing, how could we get tickets?
Okay, so you could either call Sister Soliha or myself on 031-208-1601. Tickets are still available at the Al Ansar bookshop, but they're going really fast.
Yes.
So book yours today and don't miss out.
Okay, lovely. I'm actually really glad that I got a chance to talk to you. And inshallah, I hope you join my show soon.
Inshallah, hopefully soon. I
We
know
can talk.
we've been so busy. So
yes, I know
it
that.
was such a good experience to get to spend the day with you
I'm
and
so
come onto
glad.
your
It was
show. And
wonderful.
Jazakallah so much for having me.
Jazakallah for coming on. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, that was a wonderful, beautiful Halima Ismail. I am so glad I got a chance to speak to her. Inshallah, I'll have her on my actual show soon, inshallah. But anyway, I wanted to do a continuation of last week's program where I wanted to talk about your mental health is valid, but so is your responsibility. I wanted to go into this because I think it's really, really important. Also, especially Women's Day is coming up, and I want to empower other women, and not even just women, but let's talk about balancing healing with accountability. Now, healing doesn't mean you stop trying, and that's what I see in this era. You feel like your trauma is a way for you to I guess like put past your issues, and now you use it as an excuse, and that's where you need to balance healing with accountability. Now, let's give this one a proper unpacking. Now, two truths that must coexist is your mental health is valid. Just remember that, like anxiety, depression, PTSD, burnout, whether you're grappling with, it's real worthy of care. Now, it affects energy, concentration, memory, sleep, motivation, mood, the lot. You didn't choose it, and you're not weak for having it. Now, your responsibility is also valid. Now, responsibility, firstly, that is not blame. It's responsibility, the capacity to take the next helpful step, even if it's tiny. So life doesn't press pause while we heal. Bills, relationships, studies, and personal goals still need some attention. Owning what's in your control is a cornerstone of lasting recovery. When we deny either truth, we slide into extremes. So extreme, what sounds like self-neglect, all illness, no agency. I can't do anything until I'm 100% better. That stagnates growth. It deepens helplessness. Then toxic toughness. As I said, once again, all agency, no illness. Just get over it. Other people have it worse. And that fuels shame. That worsens symptoms. So balance lives in the center, compassionate accountability. Now, why we struggle to hold in both, okay? Number one is brain chemistry. Conditions like major depression literally dull the brain's motivation circuits, so just try harder isn't realistic. The number two, cultural scripts. One camp romanticizes hustle, and the other sometimes glorifies fragility, and both simplify a messy reality. The number three, fear of judgment. We swing toward which other story seems safer, either providing and proving we're ill enough or proving that we're not lazy. And lastly, number four, cognitive distortions is really important. All or nothing thinking, if I can't do it perfectly, why try at all? And that warps our self-assessment. So, a framework for balance healing, I'm going to give you a few pointers. Validate first, okay? Name what's happening. Talk to yourself. Say, I'm in a depressive dip today. Permit the feeling, because you can't hustle biology, you have to surf it. And if you need to, seek professional support. Therapy, GP checkups, medication reviews early and often. You can even journal if you cannot afford it. And then shrink the battlefield. So define your minimum viable effort, MVE. On bad days, maybe it's shower, eat something with protein, answer one email. Meeting your MVE keeps self-trust alive without demanding heroics. And then use the arc of responsibility. Now, I'm going to give you the letter and the meanings, okay? A, agency. Identify one controllable action. Book the therapy session. Okay? R, resources. Gather tools and allies. For example, text a mate, text a friend, use a scheduling app, set pull reminders. And C, consistency. Repeat gently. So, for example, same bedtime every night, even if your sleep is patchy. Then, track direction and not perfection. Recovery, honestly, is not linear. Think of it as a messy upward squiggle. Celebrate trendiness and trend lines. More good hours this week than lost, and not flawless streaks. Then, the common pitfalls and reframes. So, for example, a pitfall is, I need meds, therapy, I'm failing. And what you could do is replace that with, I'm using every tool available, smart move. A pitfall is, I start when I feel motivated. And you need to replace that with, action often precedes motivation, mood follows movement. Another pitfall is, people should understand and adapt. And you can replace that with, what I ask for, and with I can ask for accommodations and keep improving my coping toolkit. Now, here are practical moves you can start today. I'm going to give you 5. Number 1, 2-column journal. So on the left side, you can write the symptom that you felt. And on the right side, one micro action you took anyway. And that builds evidence that you can act while struggling. Number 2 is energy budgeting. Treat mental energy like cash. Spend it on high-impact tasks first, and then schedule the rest in a line item. Number 3, body first. Hydration, protein, light exercise, sunlight. Physical basics stabilize the neurochemical ground you stand on. Number 4, accountability buddy. Someone who will ask you, what's your MVE today? With kindness and not judgment. And lastly, boundary scripts. Prepare phrases such as, I'm low on spoons today. Can we reschedule for tomorrow afternoon? And that's responsible and self-compassionate. So, the bigger why. Self-respect. Each small act of responsibility counters the same and shame narrative that mental illness often whispers. And then resilience. Practicing agency under dearness makes future stressors less overwhelming. Integrity with others. Loved ones see both your pain and your effort, which fosters trust and support rather than frustration or pity. And then dream preservation. So goals might slow down, okay, but they don't have to die. Steady micro movements keep them alive until you're fully healed. So the bottom line, honoring your mental health means listening to it. Honoring your responsibility means answering it. Healing is not the finish line where effort stops. It's the training ground where new sustainable ways are trying and are forged. So honestly, you need to be gentle with your mind, but don't hand it the steering wheel entirely. Validate the struggle. Own the next step. One compassionate, accountable day at a time. And that is how we mend and move forward. Anyway, I will be back right after the ad break, where we're going to be talking about the soft life, not without the hard work first.
This segment is brought to you by Kenfield Auto. your RMI approved service and repair specialist. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Kenfield Auto.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما.
Car won't start.
Kenfield Auto.
Noisy brakes.
Kenfield Auto.
Due for a service.
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop to handle them all. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call us on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
Get ready for an evening of inspiration and impact. Join Islamic Lifestyle Solutions for their annual fundraising dinner, Dawah Dimensions, featuring a powerful book launch, Divine Calling, How God Addresses Humankind in the Quran, and spiritually uplifting Qira and Qasaid Uddaf by Sheikh Noor Aswad. Plus, exciting prize giveaways, including a free Umrah ticket and a 7-course meal. Friday, 15th August 2025 at NMJ Islamic Center, 6 p.m. Tickets only 250 Rand, no reserved seating. Don't miss out. Book now.
Own your crown this Women's Day, 9th August with Al Ansar Foundation. An unforgettable day with the dynamic Abasakira Ansarmia, the multi-talented Rabia Carvalho, the energetic Fahima Asmal, and your favorite Radio Al Ansar presenters. A crowned event awaits you. Tickets 250 Rand. Call outreach now. Dress up, show up. Own your crown this Women's Day, 9th August with Al Ansar Foundation.
Through the adversity and through pain, through only hurt, only one thing remains: peace and love in the midst of it all. When it all never ending part. هو الحبيب محمدا صلى عليه وسلم أعطى الهدى بكماله رفع الإسلام بجماله قال من الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا إلينا أيها المبعوث فينا.
Okay, beautiful souls, it is me, Rea Mohamed, live on Next Gen at Radio Al Ansar. Now, I wanted to talk about soft life, not without hard work first. So, challenging the idea of luxury without effort, the real soft life comes after struggle. Now, this isn't just a motivational catchphrase, okay? It's a cultural reset, a clap back to the idea that you can skip the process and still enjoy the product, okay? It's about reclaiming realism in an age that glorifies ease while quietly demanding sacrifice behind the scenes. So, honestly, the first question is, what even is the soft life? Now, the soft life trend is everywhere, especially on social media. It's the aesthetic of slow mornings, matcha lattes, and skincare routines. Travel, luxury, peace, and no financial stress. Saying no to struggle, burnout, overworking, and the hustle culture. And listen, there is nothing wrong with that, okay? The desire for peace, rest, freedom, and abundance, that's a beautiful thing, especially for people, particularly women, Black and brown folks, and marginalized communities who have historically been forced to survive in survival mode. But here is the tension. Everyone wants the result of a soft life, but not everyone wants the process that makes it possible. And that is where the fantasy collapses. So, Soft life without hard work? Now that is a lie. There's this dangerous illusion floating around, okay, that you can bypass effort, discipline, or delayed gratification and still somehow end up in a life of ease, as if peace, stability, and options fall from the sky. But let's get real here, okay? Financial freedom requires budgeting, investing, and discipline. Time freedom requires systems, sacrifice, and years of building. Emotional peace requires boundaries, healing, and hard inner work. And of course, abundance, okay, that requires skill, strategy, consistency. You don't accidentally arrive at the soft life. You build it through discomfort, through grind, through resilience. The soft life isn't the absence of work, okay? It's the reward for work already done. So, what social media does not show? You see the vacation, but not the years of saving. You see the designer bag, but not the 12-hour shifts. You see the stay-at-home lifestyle, but not the partner working 3 jobs. You see the peace, but not the therapy, breakdowns, or family trauma healed behind closed doors. Social media shows the outcome, not the origin story. And that is what's dangerous because it creates entitlement without context. You begin to feel like you're failing just because you're not there yet. But the truth is, no one gets a soft life for free. Now, the problem with skipping the process. When people chase luxury without effort, here's what often happens, okay? Debt. Trying to live rich before you are. And the result for that is stress, shame, and instability. Insecurity. You feel like an imposter in your life. And you're flexing. Fragility. Because you skip struggle, you lack strength to handle stress, setbacks, or rejection. Dependency. You become reliant on someone else's money, structure, or approval to maintain your own lifestyle. And emptiness. Even with luxury, you feel unfulfilled because you didn't earn it. You consumed it. So in short, you might have the aesthetics of ease, but not the inner infrastructure to sustain it. Now, here's what the real soft life looks like. True soft life isn't about doing less. It's about having choices. And choice is a privilege that is earned through struggle. It looks like saying no to toxic jobs because you got savings and skills. Taking a month off to reset and rest because you've built the systems that run without you. Having peace of mind because you've done the therapy, set the boundaries, healed the wounds. Being unbothered because you've built confidence through the fire of failure and bounced back. Now that's soft life with substance. Not fantasy, but a fortress. Soft life requires the hard ingredients. Now let's be practical now. Here's what builds the real foundation. Okay, so the ingredient is work ethic. Why does this matter? You need a season of sweat before you reap. The ingredient, discipline. Why does this matter? Comfort costs money, time, and space, all of which requires restraint to build. Ingredient, delayed gratification. You skip the party today to own the house tomorrow. Ingredient, financial literacy. Why does this matter? A soft life needs to be stable. It needs stable finances, not rich girl aesthetics. Ingredient, emotional maturity, and this is to hold peace. You must first understand what disturbs it. And lastly, an ingredient is the vision. And why does this matter? It's a soft life that you want, and this requires clarity. You can't drift into abundance. You design it. So it's time to rewrite the narrative. It's time to stop framing struggle as shameful. Struggle is your qualification for softness. It's what makes peace feel earned. It's what makes rest sacred. And here's a new mindset. I'm in my building era and not my coasting era. The grind is my getaway to the gentle life I deserve. Discipline is the price I pay now so I can have freedom later. My soft life is loading and I'm coding it line by line. So the real soft life is not just free. Want a soft life? Then earn it. Earn the right to relax into it, not fake your way into it. Because anyone can look calm on Instagram, but real peace is quiet power. And that power is built behind the scenes, in the late nights, the lonely seasons, the hard choices. So let the world chase image. You build substance. Your soft life is coming. Just don't skip the hard part that makes it real. Now, we all have trauma, so now what? Gen Z is self-aware, but self-awareness without action just becomes a trend. Now, this isn't just a question. It's a call out, it's a mirror, and a wake up. Because yes, we've become excellent at naming the wound, but that's not the same thing as healing it. So let's take this apart properly, okay? Yes, we all have trauma, okay? That's not the debate anymore. Trauma isn't just about war, abuse, extreme tragedy. It's also about emotional neglect, unpredictable environments, repeated microaggressions, heartbreaks that shattered trust, being shamed, unseen, or made to shrink. Everyone's carrying something, especially Gen Z who have grown up in a digital saturated world with comparison, validation seeking, and overexposure. A pandemic, economic instability, rising mental health struggles, broken family systems passed down like heirlooms. So yes, we are all walking wounds to different degrees. And Gen Z in particular, incredibly self-aware about it. But naming your trauma is not the same thing as healing from it. And insight without action is just aesthetic. Now, the rise of trauma awareness culture and where it's gone wrong, there is power in awareness, absolutely. I mean, we've normalized therapy, destigmatized mental health diagnosis, learned the language of boundaries, triggers, nervous systems, attachment styles. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Awareness without action becomes identity-based self-sabotage. And here is what it looks like. I'm just avoidant and that's why I ghost people. But you never do the work to change it. I have anxiety and that's why I lash out. But you don't develop emotional regulation. I'm a people pleaser because of childhood trauma. But you keep saying yes to everything and resenting everyone. You are not healing. You are using your wounds as a reason to stay where you are. That is exactly what I mentioned just before. So whereas sometimes you use it as a shield to avoid growth. So self-awareness is a mirror, not a home. Think of awareness like looking into a mirror, okay? It shows you what's there. It reflects what's broken. It gives you a chance to adjust. But you weren't meant to stare forever, okay? You look in the mirror so you can fix your hair and move on with your day. So when people get stuck in endless reflection loops, overanalyzing, trauma dumping, psychoanalyzing themselves and others, taking every TikTok diagnosis as a gospel, they get trapped. Self-awareness is step one. But if you don't act on the knowledge, it just becomes intellectual self-comfort. Now the real work, it's messy, it's boring, and it's not Instagrammable. Healing honestly is not aesthetic. It's sitting through uncomfortable therapy sessions, journaling the ugly stuff and not the pretty affirmations, having awkward boundary setting convos, apologizing when you're wrong, owning your triggers instead of blaming them on everyone else, and choosing to respond differently when old patterns flare up. None of that looks good online. None of it goes viral, but that's the work that actually heals you. Now, the risks of getting stuck in the trauma identity. Here is what happens when trauma becomes identity instead of a starting point for growth, okay? One of the symptoms is over-identifying with labels, and what it leads to is that you box yourself into limitation. Blaming everything on your past leads to you stop owning your present choices, making your trauma your personality, and you forget who you are outside of the pain. Expecting others to accommodate everything, you stall emotional maturity and harmful patterns, especially when you're aware of them. So now what? Okay, now what? Moving from self-awareness to self-transformation, here is the blueprint for what to do after the light bulb moment. Acknowledge the truth fully. Yes, you were hurt. Yes, that shaped your coping mechanisms. And yes, that pain was real. But you're not 8 years old anymore, okay? You're not trapped anymore. You have tools now. Choosing healing over comfort. The hardest part of healing? You'll have to let go of the habits that once protected you. Bold habits and not hashtags. Routine therapy or journaling, not healing era captions. Boundary enforcement and not just boundary quotes. Mindfulness in conflict, not just self-soothing when it's convenient. Stop waiting to feel ready. Healing rarely feels good at first, okay? You won't always be motivated, but you must rely on intention and not mood. So, from trend to truth, Gen Z has done the work of dragging trauma out of the shadows. And that is powerful, that matters. But now, it's time for the next evolution. Don't just know your patterns, break them. Don't just speak your truth, live your healing. Don't just quote boundaries, enforce them. Don't just talk about trauma, walk out of it. You're not just a survivor, you're a builder. So build a version of you that your trauma never let you be. And that right there is real evolution and revolution. Now remember that nobody's coming to save you. The harsh truth about self-rescue is stop waiting for handouts, parents, or vibes. Now, this is meant to sound, it's not meant to sound harsh, sorry, but it's meant to wake you up. It's a truth that we all have to swallow at some point, especially if we want to live a life that's truly ours. It's not hopelessness, it's not cynical, it's the most empowering thing that you'll ever realize if you're willing to sit with it. Now, the lie we are sold that helps is always coming. From childhood, we're conditioned to believe that someone else will fix it, okay? Parents will make it better. Teachers will notice and step in. A partner will love us so that we'll heal the old wounds. A job will change our finances. The government will fix the economy. God or the universe will eventually drop blessings on our doorstep. The right time will magically arrive. We're taught to wait, to hope, to manifest, to expect someone to swoop in and rescue us from our mess, emotionally, financially, spiritually, or practically. But here's the truth. Yes, help may come, but it is never guaranteed, and it should never be your plan A. Now, the danger of savior mindset, when you live expecting rescue, you unconsciously stay passive. You unconsciously procrastinate healing or growth. You blame others when nothing changes. You fantasize more than you act. You avoid responsibility by leaning into victimhood. And what's the worst part? You waste time. Time you could have spent building the very solution you were praying for. And then you end up bitter, angry that the help you expected never came, resentful that life didn't bend to your hopes. But life isn't emotional like that, okay? It responds to action. Now, once again, I said nobody's coming to save you, and that's the good news, right? It's good news, okay? It means that you're no longer at mercy of other people's timing. You don't have to wait to be chosen, rescued, fixed, or discovered, or even validated. The power is in your hands now. Because let's be honest, most of the people you're waiting on, your parents might not change. Your friends might not understand. Your boss isn't going to hand you the perfect opportunity. Your ex isn't coming back to apologize. Life's not going to slow down for you to catch up. So stop outsourcing your healing. Stop outsourcing your future. Stop outsourcing your freedom because you are the damn plan. Now, what saving yourself actually looks like. This isn't about becoming hyper-independent or rejecting community, okay? It's about stepping into your own agency. Real self-rescue looks like learning how to manage your money so you're not financially trapped. Going to therapy or journaling instead of trauma dumping and hoping someone gets it. Developing discipline with motivation fails. Leaving toxic environments before they completely destroy you. Being the parent to yourself that you needed. Creating your own opportunities instead of waiting for a handout. Teaching yourself the skills that you were never taught. Having hard conversations instead of waiting for someone else to bring it up. And choosing your peace, not just craving it. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, but it's transformational. Now, how to actually start rescuing yourself? Let's break this down. Mental health. What you can do is seek help, practice emotional hygiene, identify your triggers, and take daily steps to regulate yourself. Finances. Budget. Get financially literate. Stop relying on wishful thinking or unsustainable lifestyles. Healing. Forgive yourself. Let go of entitlement to closure. Rebuild your identity. Purpose. Stop waiting for the right time. Pick something, start small, and let clarity come through movement. Support. Build healthy relationships by being the kind of friend or partner that you want. Community is built, not stumbled upon. So why is waiting killing your momentum? Every time you say, I'm just waiting for the perfect moment. I can't do this unless someone else helps me. Once things calm down, I'll start. You're handing over your time, power, and future to someone or something internal and external. Life rewards the ones who take messy action, not the ones who wait for perfect conditions. Nobody's coming because you are already here, and that's more than enough. This isn't meant to be harsh. It's meant to set you free. You don't have to wait for someone to give you permission. Hope that someone else sees your worth. Live on the crumbs of someone else's rescue plan. You get to build a life that doesn't depend on saviors. You get to become your own safety. You get to become your own structure, your own miracle. Because the truth is, the savior you've built waiting for you is you. So lastly, once you stop waiting for the cavalry, you become the cavalry. So you stop settling, you stop hoping endlessly, you stop playing small, you stop tolerating emotional starvation, and you start building, you start moving, you start healing with intention, creating a life that's real and not just imagined. So no, nobody's coming to save you. But once you realize you're the one, you stop feeling like a victim of your story and start writing your own ending. Anyway, it's time to wrap up. I will be back next week, Thursday, the 31st of July. Oh my gosh, it's almost August. Inshallah, from 2 to 3. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You know what really gets under my skin? When my cake or icing just doesn't come out right. It's such a bummer. But I found this incredible